Hello, my name is Lauren Simpson. I am originally from Nashville, Tennessee, but I currently reside here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I've been meaning to do this vlog for quite some time, like a few months, so I do apologize. But without further ado, here it is. So basically, I've been just so busy with work, school, my second job, just staying busy. So I did want to do this vlog. So the first one is actually going to be kind of for my mentoring program that I started in February. So it's called Adjust Your Crown Mentoring. It's basically for women just to remind you that you're all queens, so that we need to act accordingly and adjust our crown. So it's very inspiring, motivating. Just talk about several different things. Basically, it's a combination of vlogs, blogs. Also, eventually, it's going to have in-person workshops. But all of that jazz. But basically, if you want to know more information about that, you can visit my Instagram page for that, which is Adjust Your Crown Mentoring, and as well as the website, www.adjustyourcrownmentoring.com. Now, as far as my personal social media, it's Picturesque 1908, which is actually a word in the dictionary, I promise. It's my line name. It stands for vividly expressive as well as suitable for a picture. So it's Picturesque 1908 on Instagram, Snapchat, as well as Twitter, and I'll also put it down below. But I just basically want to do this first vlog to kind of introduce myself, but also kind of like share one of my stories, which I've had a lot throughout my life. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you know I'm completely silly, but this one's going to be more serious. It's basically my story on how I moved to Atlanta, because a lot of people have wrote me messages, sent me DMs, commented on my pictures, and I know a lot of times, so I'm basically going to kind of call this or title this, stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping out on faith. So I know a lot of times you learn that throughout life, like, oh, you must step out of your comfort zone, you must step out on faith, but it's totally different when you actually put your faith to test. So basically, I lived in Nashville all of my life. I grew up there. I also went to undergrad, Middle Tennessee State University. So it's Murfreesboro, so it's maybe like 45 minutes away from Nashville. I also went to grad school in Nashville, so I spent a lot of time, but I was like, I want to get out of my comfort zone. I didn't want to go too far away from my family, so I was like, what can I do? I need to, and I applied for jobs. I had the Atlanta, address on my resume. It just wasn't happening. I'm like, oh my goodness, I graduated. It was August 2012. I was like, I graduate, in a few weeks. My lease is about to be up. This is the perfect time to make the move. I was like, I'm not in a job where I feel like it's my career, so I'm not like happy with my career part as far as my job. And then I was like, I'm about to graduate, and then I don't even really love the place where I stay. So it's like, nothing is really holding me here except for my family, but it's like, I want to do this for myself. So I'm like, what can I do? I'm like, I'm going to have to take a risk. And I talked to a few people. There's like, some people was like, oh, you may have to be in the city to network in order to get a job. I'm like, that's very risky. So I wouldn't suggest everybody do it my way, because my way is just a tad bit dangerous. So basically what I did is I called my mom up and was like, hey, Mom, I'm moving to Atlanta. This is what it is. She was like, this is the dumbest idea that you've ever had. Usually you're organized. I plan everything. I plan outfits to a T. I always am organized by planning stuff and way in advance. But I just was like, yeah, but this time it's not that way, but I still want to take the shot. So I rented a U-Haul, and she drove the U-Haul while I drove my car. And she came with me. She still didn't think it was the best idea. And I actually had a roommate where I moved in. It was a 3-story townhouse in East Atlanta, Zone 6. Very nice, very industrial, nice. But I still was responsible for what was my rent? $735. So even though I had a roommate, I was still moving in, so I had to pay rent. Didn't really have much saved up. It was just like on a whim, like, oh, let's go. So I started my doctorate program right away. And I was like, oh my goodness, I really don't have a job. So basically, it was hard. I'm not going to lie and say it was easy. The only way I can kind of explain on how I survived was God kept me. God kept me. Because I don't even know how I survived, like, as far as eating, being able to pay my rent. Like, it was amazing, because I sure did not save. But basically, I'm like, how do you even do that? When I got here, I was like, wait, how do you even start off by networking? I didn't want to go out because I felt bad, because I don't feel like I should be out if I didn't have a job. But I was like, okay, what are some things that I could do? So I still applied to jobs. And sometimes you have to humble yourself And I had to know, like, I can't apply for all those jobs that I think I'm qualified for. I had to apply for some Macys. I had to apply for some temp jobs. So I did get a temp job, but that wasn't until I moved here the last week in August. I didn't get the temp job until maybe September. Yes, it was September, and then it was like the end of September, but it was pretty nice. It was $18 per hour, so it was cool. I was like, okay, that's decent especially for a temp job. But on my temp job, I actually went on an interview for another job that I applied for before that, and the interview just took too long, and it was a lunch break. So the temp job didn't last long, but then I also got hired at Macys, maybe the end of October. Still didn't hear back from the job I took the long lunch break for. So I ended up getting a job at Macys and Cosmetics, where I was a floater. Basically, I can float at any of the departments, like within the makeup department. And I took a liking, of course. I love Chanel, so I kind of was able to float more at the Chanel counter because they knew that's what I enjoy. So they taught me a lot more. But it was like crazy because I remember even that year, my birthday's in October, my mom came down and I got groceries for a birthday present. You know, like it was just a different type of feel, like groceries. So I tried to rack up as many groceries as I could because it's like that was the way I could eat. And I also had some very good friends that were very supportive. The year, I think it was maybe November, where I didn't have like all my first month's rent because I was still trying to do back pay. So shout out to them. They were able to collectively kind of like give me money, so I was able to pay my rent. But other than that, let me see. Okay, so that happened. Got the job at Macys. Was cool with that. Hey, some money is better than no money. So then after that, I'm like, okay. All of a sudden, like on a Friday, I think I was at home just chilling. Maybe I wasn't working at Macys that day. And I got a phone call, and it was like, hey, they want to offer you the job. Take in mind, this is a month later. I went to the interview on October 4th. This is like November 10th. And they're like, they want to offer you the job. I'm like, okay. And it was like, told me the salary. I was like, it was like almost double what I was making in Nashville. I was like, okay. I was like, it's lit. But after that, there was like, the only thing is we need you here by Monday. It's like, no problem. Forget Macys. But I ended up keeping Macys for a while too. But it was just like, wow. And the crazy thing about it is I started my program. I told you I started my program before I even, as soon as I moved here, I started the program.